Hey everybody, it's Kia. Thank you guys so much for stopping by to my channel. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. We are actually on a debt-free journey. We really dove in a couple months ago, and now we are trying to figure out better ways to manage our money and get out of the big massive mess that we have created. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you guys so much for joining me today. We're going to go through the August 21st paycheck budget, and I'm really excited to get this one out of the way. We're actually going to be able to pay off another debt this payday, so I'm really excited to get that taken care of. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'll try and keep it short. I have already filled out everything, so hopefully it won't take too long to go through it, but let's go ahead and zoom in and we'll dive into this paycheck budget. Okay, so we are all zoomed in now, so hopefully you can see everything. As you can tell, I did fill in some of the actual numbers. I got paid on Friday, and I'm just now doing the video, so I figured I'd go ahead and put those in there now before I forget. So as usual, I budgeted for my regular salary, which is $18.50. It's actually $18.52.34, but I use that extra $2.34 just to kind of toss into our bill pay account buffer or our spending account buffer. And then I do like to budget in fives. It just makes it easier for me when I add things up. And then anything that is under budget, I usually try to kind of transfer out into a separate savings account and try to use that money for its intended purpose. So if it's auto fuel, I'm trying to build up an auto fund account. If it's regular bills and utilities, things like that, I'm putting that into our debt savings account. And then if it ends up being spending money like groceries, shopping, things like that, then I usually end up just kind of rolling that forward if we have anything left over. But that's kind of how I like to do things. Now for auto fuel, I'm going to go ahead and do the regular $100 that I do every 2 weeks. We shouldn't use all that money this payday because we won't be doing near as much driving, but I am trying to build up that auto fund account, so I went ahead and left that the same. Groceries, we're going to go ahead and put another $100 under groceries this payday. Homeschool, I went ahead and increased the homeschool budget just a little bit more, so I added another $10 in there. I was trying to get it to where I could pay for the annual subscription on our homeschool planner, but by the time I actually logged in to submit the annual subscription request, they had already pinned my account for the monthly bill. So I'm going to go ahead and put another $10 in there for that. And then medical, I'm going to go ahead and save back another $65 for medical. Hopefully we'll be able to get that bill paid up here pretty soon, since they've been doing like teletherapy, things like that. They haven't been billing us regularly, so we're going to have to make sure that my husband calls in a payment, but I did want to put another $65 back for that. Kids allowance, I am planning on trying to transfer some money over into their checking account. They have been really helping out around the house. We are trying to get kind of late spring cleaning done at the moment. So they've been doing pretty good, so I'm going to transfer over $10 each into my little ones' accounts. Pets, I did not actually get the cat food added onto my Chewy order. Apparently it was a little more complicated than I thought it was going to be. I added it into my cart, but I didn't add it onto the subscribe and save or whatever they call it. So my mom actually added it onto her order, and I'm going to go ahead and give her $30 to cover that for me. Shopping, we are planning on doing a pretty large online order for our tobacco. We have been trying to purchase our tobacco online and roll our own cigarettes, that way we're not going to the gas station all the time. So now that we've kind of figured out what we like, we're going to do a bulk order, and I think it's going to end up lasting us a couple months. So I think it's going to be about $230. We're still working out the details on that, but that's what we're planning there. Auto insurance, they did not pull the auto insurance again last week, and it was technically due on the 20th, right before payday, so I'm going to carry that forward, and I'm going to call my insurance agent to see what we need to do to get that fixed. Entertainment, we're going to have our Netflix and our Spotify subscriptions due this payday, so we're going to do $35 towards that. We're going to have our telephone bill due, so I'm going to budget $370 for that. And then we're also going to have our internet bill due this payday as well. So let me go ahead and scooch it up. So we're going to put $100 towards that, and that makes our expenses equal $12.55 for this payday. Now, because I do like to save in advance for things, I am going to put $1,230 back for bills that come up around the first of the month. That's going to cover our mortgage, things like that. That's going to come out after the first. I'm not going to put anything in there for debt savings, auto fund, or homeschool fund, but I did have a little bit of money left over from each one of these items, so I will be transferring those into their separate savings accounts. So I really just wanted a line item on there for that. And then we will end up with $620 left over as a roll forward. Part of that is medical and medical and checking account buffers that we have created. And so altogether we have $1,850 in savings, which is pretty exciting because that's equal to one of my paychecks. So that's kind of exciting there. And then as far as debt goes, we don't have a whole lot going on here, but we will be paying off the Affirm 4 loan. Oh, so let me go ahead and put 4 on there. So we're going to pay that off. I went in there and kind of estimated how much it was going to be to pay that off, and I think it's going to be just under $410. We will have the minimum payment due on my MasterCard through Capital One, and then the Credit One payment, it's technically due on the 1st, but the bank always sends it out a little early, so I'm going to go ahead and budget for that payment as well. So that makes a total of $485 going out for debt this payday. And then one of my goals this month was to pay off, well, my goals this month anyway, was to pay off the Capital One account, the Affirm 4 loan, and to put $200 into our emergency fund. Now, because we are doing a slightly larger online order, I wasn't able to do the full 200, so I am going to put 155 back. And then after all these bills clear and I go through and figure out what the actual amounts are versus what I budgeted, anything in excess of that I will be scooching over into the emergency fund. So I am still pretty hopeful that we're going to meet that $200 mark, but we're just going to have to see. So that will bring our emergency fund account up to $700, and my goal is by the end of October to actually have a full $1,000 in that account. So that's kind of where we're at with that. But that is our paycheck budget for this payday. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. That tells YouTube and me that you like the content that I'm putting out there. And if you're on board for joining us through our debt-free journey, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would love to connect with you going forward. I am just loving this community, and I have just been so overjoyed with all the support that we've received so far. So thank you guys so much, and we will see you next time. Bye, you guys.